Hey, what's going on, everyone? As I'm driving home, I started thinking about how did I get here? Whereas here, that's kind of irrelevant for a location, but it's more so how did I get here, meaning to this point in life. I I went down so many different lanes and avenues, and I zigged and zagged, and I zagged when I should have zigged, and I zigged when I should have zagged. I, I really can't put a pin drop to how I am or how I got to this point in life. Like who would have that known me, known that I would have wanted to move to the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma. Well, no one would have really known that, but certain family members, if they were paying attention, they would have known that since I went to North Carolina in 1986, I wanted to live that country life. But they they may have never thought like, oh, he didn't just enjoy it, that's what he was striving for. Or maybe I didn't go on that trip. Would I have ever desired to want to live out here or rurally or up on the side of a mountain like I do? Like where is that line, that demarcation point? I know that I always desired it, but I don't know. I I I have to myself, but here again, it's that hindsight portion where I'm looking back and seeing that I wanted this since I was 6 years old. I look at a lot of biblical stories of people that were completely destitute or everything was taken away from them, or they had the toughest upbringing. They had brothers that treated them like crap or tormented them, or family members that did ridiculous things that aren't even needed to be spoken of, and they made it through. If it wasn't because of who they were, who they were ordained to be, would they have been someone notable in the word? Not to say that I am someone notable or that hundreds, if not thousands of years from now, I will be remembered, but I'm doing this right here, telling my story so that if someone is interested in it or wanted to figure out, oh, who came out of New Jersey as a heavyweight fighter back in the late 1900s. Yeah, you would never think of anything like that. Well, actually, it wasn't the late 1900s. It was the early aughts or 2000s. They did a random Google search, or they did what I do on what is that, on Google Earth. I'll just spin the Google Earth and then pin drop and learn about some new place, some new country, some new Mediterranean place or village or something like that. There's uh, so many different things that you can learn just by chance, by rolling the dice. So maybe someone in the future, hundreds of years, thousands of years from now, are like, oh, well, what happened with this person? Why did they do what they did? What was something important in their life that was that turning point that made them go down this pathway? What made them start to believe what it is that they believe? What made them have confidence in themselves? What was that spark? Or was that spark fear? Or was that spark reckless endangerment? They'll look back at me and talk about how I would drive places and I would speed everywhere that I go. Was that the spark? Was it the failed relationships? Was it the failed occupations? Was it the dream of becoming a famous athlete? Even though that wasn't one of my dreams of becoming a famous athlete, I just wanted to be an athlete that happened to become semi-famous. Then what is it? People, uh, people in the future will look and wonder, like, oh, he decided to give it all up. This big city life, this crappy city life, if you ask me about it, where there's no future, there's no inheritance given. It's just burden on top of burden on top of burden, to where you have to grind your entire life just to make ends meet. And then you'll have a few peaceful days and that's it. That's all that I've seen from people that live in a big city. Now, I'm only saying big city in comparison to where I live now. I live in the country on a dirt road with a mile-and-a-half long driveway. That I used to live in row houses that there was no alleyway in between them. Maybe it was the frustration of that, the frustration in thinking that, oh, all that I have to look forward to is get into a mortgage that I'm not going to enjoy, work myself to the bone to one day when I'm 60 or 70 be able to say I paid off and I technically own this piece of house that needs all of these repairs, and also paying $16,000 a year in property taxes after I've already paid it off. What type of life is that? Well, that's the type of life of somebody in a big city, that that's all that they know. That's all that they have and can dream of, because of the trajectory that they're on. They weren't given that opportunity to go see what the world has, see what this country has, and what this country has to offer. Oop, dropped my other phone and it changed the lighting and all this stuff. Oh crap. Can I reach it as I climb the mountain? And can I fix everything? I don't know. Now I can't see. I'm blinded. Just gonna turn it down. I don't even know what setting it was on. Maybe it was that. I'm not sure. But people that live in a city, they can only see what's outside their window. They don't go and explore to what the possibilities are in outside of what they grew up in. I used to think when I was coming up in the 80s that there was nothing outside of East Orange, New Jersey. But there was a West Orange, New Jersey. There was an Orange, New Jersey. There was a Newark, New Jersey. Why? Because my family took me in a vehicle or on a bus to go experience these other places. I got to go to Turtleback Zoo. I think about some of the people that I grew up with that never made it out of East Orange. That right there is heartbreaking. Some people that never made it out of their town. Never knew there was something on the outside. There was a change. There was something different. They were just stuck in that rut. I got to get out. I got to go see something different. But even seeing something different, there was a drive inside of me letting me know that I wanted something different. But I can't pinpoint where that change was. Where was that initial change where I completely turned? I zigged when I should have zagged, knowing that's what I wanted. I don't know. I clawed for it. I fought in cages for it. I said that I wanted to live in Kansas just to get away from everything. I said that I wanted to live up in Maine just to get away from everything. But I ended up here in Oklahoma on this dirt road in the middle of nowhere, happy, joyful, grateful to the Father for choosing me and giving me the drive to say, you know what? I just gotta let go and go. Can't hold on to anything because it's just gonna weigh you down. It's gonna have you second guess your moves. Then it's gonna restart your point. You're gonna end up in another cycle of I should have done this. I could have done that. I could have been this. I could have been that. A whole bunch of regret come to those that don't act. And there's a lot of regret that come to those that don't read your word. Because if you would take the time to open up that book, you will see yourself in that book. All of your experiences, all of your hardship, all of your joy, all of your experiences are written in the Word. But just like me, maybe you said, no, that's for somebody else. That's not speaking to me. I'm not getting anything out of this. It's not logical. What part of life is logical? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I just know that every day I wake up grateful. And that didn't just start when I moved out here. That was when I was back in New Jersey, where there was no defined future. I was just grateful. I was happy. I was joyful. I got outside and looked to the sky to say thank you. I couldn't define why I was saying thank you. I just know that it was something that I needed to do. And then I was introduced to the Torah. Something that I read plenty of times before when I was a Christian. But since I was a Christian, it was leave all of that stuff behind and focus on the New Testament. The sacrifice of Jesus. Don't pay attention that Jesus or Yeshua said to follow his Father's word. That's what people are doing. So they're just going around in circles and circles and circles and not changing their pathway of what it is that they need to do. They won't figure out where they needed to zig and zag. They're just chasing their tail. And they're going to chase their tail to the grave because they haven't turned to the Father and asked Him for what it is that they're supposed to do. And He's going to just say, read and honor my word. That's pretty much it. So I can't answer what turning point put me on this trajectory. I just know that I've always had a purpose. And I used to be afraid to find out what my purpose was. But now I'm just continuing to be happy every day and share the Father's word and give people a chance to see that there is more opportunities out here if you open yourself up to see them. But now, as I'm getting thrown around, I'm on my driveway. So I'm going to end this video now. Y'all have a blessed day, night, evening, or whatever when you're watching this. Shalom.